Uh-oh. I may have a broken my mouse. Oh, good news. I might be getting a new mouse. So what happened was the other day, I'm just having a great time at my desk, drinking my little tea. It's like some orange stuff, and then I push it over and it falls. Luckily, my space heater wasn't in the usual spot, and it did not get any tea inside of it. My husband said, "Oh, that's fine, because if it did, it would just smell like the tea." So, when we were trying to clean up, we dropped our mouse all over the floor because, like, you don't really know what you've messed up when you spill a bunch of liquid. So I just wasn't really thinking about the mouse. I've dropped it a couple of times, but I think this time either it has tea inside of it and that's what's getting it a little bit sticky on the right click, or like I dropped it and it got all messed up on the inside. Whew. So that's the drama with my mouse. It was a little scary. So at work today, I'm like, why can I not right click anything? Because I do that to like copy and paste. Just like, I mean, anybody does, I guess, but sometimes the program that I have to operate in is a little bit slow. And just the other day, it just like randomly shut down. And I was like, oh my God, did I save? It jump scares me with how old and fucked up it is. So with my right click not being operable, it was like, okay, this seems like this is a scary new thing. I don't like it. Fortunately, everything worked out there. We didn't finish our usual amount of work today, but we did enough to be satisfied. I just didn't feel like doing anything today. But like I want to do a little bit more because then it just piles into the rest of the week. We have a weekly deliverable number, and I can complete it as long as I complete it before the week is over. And that leaves a lot of flexibility. There's preferable hours to work, like when my superiors are actually in the office. But overall, you can do anything at any time. Just do it before Sunday midnight or whatever. So there's options. You could front load your week. You could wait and do all the week at the end, work at the end of the weeks. It's I've never front loaded my Mondays. I try to do like an even pace, but even that's been a little bit ugh. So I guess I just gotta keep my schedule fresh. But yeah, I bought another frame because I have another picture that I have to frame, another puzzle picture because I'm almost done with my Stardew Valley puzzle that my bubby got me for my birthday. Let me look up moose ears. Moose ears. The moose ears. Okay, there's like a funny stuff going on in a moose's ears. Hold on, everyone. It's not just like a big shape. It's many shapes. We have this. Yeah. And then what? It's a lot of hair. And then it kind of dips down again. And then again. Whoa, wrong. Erroneous. Not quite. I'm trying to find good screenshots of that NPC at the Stardew Valley Fair who says like something along the lines of, wow, that's the biggest wheel of cheese I've ever seen. I think I'll need to go check videos. Like just someone playing through. I don't think it's fall on my farm yet, unfortunately. I think it's is it spring or summer? When's Calico Desert? Because I think that just passed. Wait, I can like log on and play. Hold up. So I kind of want to play a little bit at like any given moment. So it's like, why not, you know, launch it? So we're gonna launch Stardew Valley because I want to see where we're at. I wonder what screen pops up. Okay. Let me check my OBS because I like to adjust. I want to adjust the game screen in the canvas. That's fun. I'll leave Kent's eyeballs there because that's fun. But yeah, I gotta check what season we're in, fellas. So that'll give me a timetable I can work with. Because I'd prefer to get the screenshots from the game. I don't want to go trawling through someone's video. Because you never know how long it's going to be till you find what you want. You don't know if they're going to talk to all the NPCs. Alright, what the hell is this? See, I don't know. I can't read this. Is it spring or summer? I think it's spring. Fuck. Well, I'm gonna put you away for now, lovely game. Back to moose ears, the moosoo ears. Yeah, I like fucked up my shoulder and a little bit of the back meat on my shoulder. I don't specifically know what it was. I hold a lot of tension there just naturally throughout the day, and I'm probably sleeping wrong. So I don't know how to properly diagnose what's up. Oh, I don't need to add much to those ears. I'm not going to do anything. I'll just try to replicate it on the other side. It's not important. This is like a weird middle ground between like, because I wouldn't normally add the fur. That would be like a quote detail thing. And the shapes are vague, but like, I don't know, this is a nice middle ground. Like, I think normally I'd try to render the fur, not in like a soft lighting and hard lighting, but just give it shapes. This is an unusual choice by moi. Today I did throw out a tomato and I held it by the stem and it plopped off and it fell on the floor and it went. That's fun though, whenever like, oh no, this tomato went bad. And you know, it's not a big cost, it's just a tomato, so you get to throw it outside. You never know who's gonna get it. Like maybe it's Bigfoot. We were talking about what we would do if like, hey, what if Bigfoot just lived out back? And I'm thinking like, okay, well you probably have to find out like if Bigfoot's relatively friendly or easygoing. Like at first I said, I'll just go up and ask him something, but it's like that's fucked up. He might like hate you. He might just want to be left alone. That's why he moved out there. Like he didn't think anything would bother him, and then someone bothers him. It's like, oh my god! So he's gonna like rip me in half. So I guess I'd like just leave food out there or like a note, like asking a question or something. Because I don't know what he wants, and I want to be respectful. My husband said he was just gonna start charging him rent. He's gonna exploit Bigfoot. I mean, like whatever. I think it's because he said, oh, well, like we could get cool stuff for Bigfoot, and like, because he's basically a celebrity. So he could be in like in porn. You could put him in pornography, Bigfoot porn. That's it. That's our goal. Those are our separate ideas of what we do if Bigfoot appeared on our property. I don't know. I think mine's more ethical, but like whatever. Well, maybe his is ethical. It depends on Bigfoot's level of now. Say it with me, class. Sapience, not sentience. Sapience. Difference. I feel like it looks kind of funny, like just shoved in the hair. Wait, let me just kind of add some tufts. Add some tufts. Okay, buddy, how brown are you gonna be? Because the concept of a blonde mousse is crazy. Girl, you look fucking crazy. I don't know, that's kind of fine. I'm gonna get rid of that. Get out of here. At least by a little bit. Similar colored pixels. Let's like do 76%. Let's kind of match this a little bit. This one looks... Whatever. Wait, I care. Sucks to care. I'm bored of these guys. Get out of here. Ugh. Okay, we're almost done. Oh, no. Why? Those drumstick ice creams with the fudge on the inside, okay, they need to like not have the fudge on the inside because that shit is ass. We got one of them boxes recently, and yeah, the ones without fudge on the inside are they're fine, but whatever they're using is just disgusting. Like sour, not like it's rotten, but like it's just got it naturally sour. I don't even want to call it bitter because I would call coffee bitter. I'd call excessive lemon peeling or lemon shavings bitter. But like that stuff is kind of enjoyable. This shit was just fucking ass. I think they're called drumsticks or something. They got the little chocolate in the bottom. Yeah, the fudge is just disgusting. The caramel's fine. Both the tastes kind of remind me of that of like chocolate sauce or caramel sauce that you put in stuff. They have like the caramel sauce for the milk. I've had it before. It's too like it's not horrible. It's just too sweet. It's very like little kid shit. And then the Hershey's like it's like the Hershey's chocolate sauce for milk. It's like not very good. It's okay if you put it in the milk, but I always have to use like a lot to actually taste more of the flavor than milk, so I don't really love it all that much. I really like Kent. He seems so sweet. It's not like that he's fucked up, is that he seems like he's easy to talk to about like whatever. Like, he seems like he wouldn't judge you. Well, I mean, not in a way where it seems unfair. Because I think his life has allowed him to put certain things in proportion. And I think that his assessment of you and, like, his ability to talk to you about all sorts of topics would be very different. But of course, you gotta listen to him. You gotta listen to Kent. Doesn't Kent sometimes stand next to the river's edge? I know he stands outside of his house at night a lot. But does he do the same thing to the river's edge? I feel like he does, because at some point in my head, I remember thinking like, oh, I wonder if he's ever interacted with Shane, because Shane will also sit next to the river's edge. Like, I think in that space roughly between the sewers and the bridge to the beach, he'll just hang out and drink his soda. And I swear Kent stands nearby there too. Harvey stands sometimes around there too, so I guess I wonder if those three ever like cross paths all at once. Alright. This chick, I love you, but I'm not doing her justice. Okay, so we need to look up a cheetah. A cheetah. Googling cheetah. Cheetah. God, cheetah babies are cute too, and they make little bird noises to alert their mother. They just look absolutely ridiculous, baby cheetahs. Like compared to their giga slender mothers. Giga. Giga's such a funny, what is it, like an adverb or something? Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm looking at, but they're so cute. Cheetahs are just so cute. They're my favorite cat. I don't know if they count as a big cat, surprisingly. Because I think there's like different ways to define big cats, and I might be thinking of how hunters describe big cats or something. Anywho, they got eyeliner on by the looks of it. Cheetah. Cheetah. There was this story on Twitter that made it to like some country's news where this girl had this tiny stuffed animal, very, very tiny. Its name was Cheetah Lee. And she was posing with Cheetah Lee on a beach or somewhere. And as she's taking pictures of this little doll in her hand outstretched in front of her, as she's like literally clicking the button to take the pictures, a bird swoops down and takes Cheetah Lee. So she's got photos of this fucking bird snatching Cheetah Lee out of her hand. The good news is that she went on the computer and she said they took Cheetah Lee. And she was very sad. I'm assuming so. I would be horrified. I would be mad at every bird I saw. But the good news is Cheetah Lee was found. He was found, or she or they were found on a beach, and someone saw the images of Cheetah Lee that were taken, and they returned Cheetah Lee to its owner. And it made some local news story. I don't remember which country. It was crazy. Cheetah Lee. It was a really cute plushie too. I hadn't conceived of plushies that small. I'm not a big plushies person. When I was younger, I preferred plastic toys because I like to play in the bath a lot. I would make bubble baths a lot. I need to sneeze. I should probably cut the mic off if I'm gonna sneeze. Whatever. What's done is done. Any hoodles. I would make bubble baths and I would treat the bubbles as terrain. And that's how I would, that's my pretend play in the bath with my plastic figurines. It was fun. Trying to look at this lady. Like, I don't know what cheetah spots, like, what their each spot's placement means, but we're trying a little. Oh my gosh, this stupid shoulder pain. It's going to my arm. My stupid arm felt kind of tight today. Let's just use our mouse to click, 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 click. Oh wait, no, they're kind of like a row. They've got something going on. There's like, it's like lines. Wow. Oh, that's awful. These are not cute. These are ugly. These are fucking ugly. It's just Such a normal person. Okay, let's think. How do we make these spots cute? Okay, let's, ooh, our original reference. We found our original reference, you guys. Okay, so it's like a bunch of dots going down the side of her face. That's cool. So we're gonna erase somebody's. Let's see, let's try to count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Well, it's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. And then we have this little configuration of 4 spots, and they get kind of bigger towards the base. And then there's like 4 over here in kind of a weird little parallelogram. And then there's just a smattering on this side. And then these bottom 4 become part of this grouping. And they get smaller as they get towards the mouth. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we'll just shove a spot over here for funsies. Okay, there's like, fuck. Boring. Oh, we gotta go all over her. This sucks. Miserable. I'm miserable. I'm going to be miserable for every day for the rest of my life. Doesn't make any sense. Oh god. I'm glad no one else can see the reference so they can't laugh at me. This looks stupid. That could be worse. All right. Just kind of got this line up here. No clue what this means. Oh yeah, because of like all the discourse that's happening about characters and fan interpretation of characters, there was one post that stopped me for a bit amongst the usual post about like Clint and I don't know, maybe there was some stuff about the wizard. Not too much about Sandy. But like you don't really know her, so fine. But someone reminded me that at some point Marnie makes a joke in her nephew's direction where she notices him being happy or something, and she's like, oh, is that because like beer was on sale? And this is like in the throes of him trying to get better or whatever, or like reduce his alcohol intake. And like I don't specifically know 100% of the context, but I vaguely know that the timing of her saying that was really fucked up, because I'm pretty sure I recall like, yeah, he does react to that like, oh, like, oh, what a mean thing to say. I forgot she said that though. Like that's like some shit my mom would do. Just like this, well, actually no, my mom was way meaner. But like just like fucked up what I call boomer joke. Like anyone can do them, but I'm so used to like older people doing them as I was growing up, and they weren't even like, it was all like Gen Xers, I'm sure, but I don't know generation level. Regardless, she just like spat on him. You fucking bitch. Because I don't have huge feelings about Marnie and stuff. But I do know that my interpretation of her is largely influenced by fan fiction, which probably does. I think a lot of people, a lot of the authors will like intentionally soften her up a bit and like make her just more useful, like more helpful of a person, more motherly. We're more like embodying motherly traits. which I would consider a little different by saying like, oh, they're just deifying, making her more of an avatar. So it's not that like, oh, she like, because Jodie is motherly, but I wouldn't say she embodies motherly trait. I don't know if that's like a, that should make what I'm saying make sense. It's fine. But they give her attributes that are, I guess, more pleasing. Like characterization that's more pleasing, more useful, makes her more involved with her family. Because she's really not like that in the game, like even outside of that fucked up thing she said to her nephew. Like she's just sort of there oftentimes. At least that's how it felt. But we're gonna do another playthrough at some point. Oh, I need to, since I already have this client open, I might as well check. Let me open up. Let me log. Exit game? There's options. Title. Here we go. I gotta check Bean Day real quick. So she's in spring year 1, I think. Yeah. Oh, cool. So she has a lot of stuff she can do. But let's see. Let's turn this off for now. Because I'm thinking I'm going to play this character when 1.7 drops. I don't know when that's going to be. It'll probably be easy to do because I've just been filling my days with stuff. And I'm happy to do that because that'll like, I haven't played through the game since like forever ago. So there's all sorts of things that are different between like when I started the game years ago versus if I were to start the game now. Just the introduction of Ginger Island just makes things different. Like when that unlocks and what that expands upon, how that affects your day to day. Also like Raccoon Family, there's just more stuff than like the community center or I don't remember. Maybe interactions are more fleshed out, like people are given more characterization or just more things to say probably. So that'll also affect my experience. But I'm gonna wait till 1.7 probably. So I want to re-experience a lot of material, and most importantly, I want to re-experience Clint's story, because that'll probably change a lot by trying to make him a more desirable marriage candidate. Maybe his dialogue can be tweaked to make him seem a bit more of an option. Because maybe it's just me closing the door to him as soon as you realize that you can't marry him. But after I realized I couldn't marry him, I kind of only saw his dialogue through the lens of someone who couldn't be married. So I don't know if you were to play through now and if you assumed like, oh, he can be married, if it would read as though he was eligible. But I don't remember feeling that him being eligible. Like as soon as I realized I couldn't marry him, I kind of just got disinterested. Because the dating aspect wasn't really big for me when I first started playing. I was watching a streamer play it, and they were mostly just talking about the gameplay. It was a character that they liked, but I wasn't really interested in the character, so I didn't care. I wanted like a nice soothing thing to do, because that was my first attempt at college. So I wanted something to, a new game a new long-term game, because I like long-term games. There was a brief moment in my life where I tried, like, oh, Portal is out, I'm gonna play that game, and then I'll play the next big game that's out. But I liked Portal. I wouldn't necessarily call it expensive at the time, but I thought I can't like keep buying games that cost this much over and over again. So I'll just buy like some games sometimes, but they're gonna be my forever games, because that's what I like. I like games I can play forever. I'm still playing the same MMO from like 2005. I love it. I haven't played it recently, but it's always there, always installed on every PC, every operating system I ever have. It's like one of the first fucking things I install, barring, you know, your necessaries. Love it. I need to get this earring on her. Listen, Linda. Do I just like pop it on? Maybe like make it look darker and just like pop it on like this. I don't know. I also need to play through Haley's story again, because the first time I played through, I remember being so disappointed when she becomes nice. I felt like I was watching her be lobotomized, and no one's ever says anything about that. I've never seen a single person say, I prefer when Haley was mean. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just an asshole, but I wanted her to stay mean. I was like, oh, this mean woman, me and this mean woman can be mean towards other people. She'll be my bitch wife who lives at home. And I'm her bitch wife, and together we bitch. I come home and bitch, and she comes home from whatever she was doing and she bitches, and we gossip and talk shit. But no, you know, they took that from me, and nobody cares. But yeah, I'm gonna see how if I still feel the same way to the next playthrough, because I could be exaggerating. I could have just like wildly interpreted things, which is possible, because I think that's just gonna happen with a video game, because it's not like one story you're telling, it's a bunch of stories. Because as I mentioned before, like I got the cinematic or whatever, I got the heart event where Sebastian and you get under the same umbrella, and it's like really cutesy. It's I read it as like kind of flirty. I don't know, maybe I'm just like that. But I got that event after I was married, so that changed Sebastian's character for me a little bit. What's this ear? Oh my god, her stupid earrings. If you're a cheetah and you got earrings, what do they look like? I don't think I got any other cinematics out of order. Because, yeah, going to the beach on a rainy day, I mean, there's fish I would catch. But I think I was doing well enough on my fishing. Like, I fish periodically throughout the game because I actually really like it. I think it's like a perfectly fine level of hardness. If anything, I could personally have like a harder fish game, I think. Like, I want to be required to use more tools, more bobbers and things. For a lot of fish, you don't have to. I think the first legendary fish I caught, I didn't have anything. I think it was the legend. And then after that, I started using more materials, because I think I tried to catch the glacier fish, bare ass, but I couldn't. Sure, whatever. Okay, now her Silly Willy, these things. Hello, where are they? Are they merged? I'm so stupid. Honestly, I think I merged it by accident more than anything. That's okay. All right, now let me try to color similar pixels. Okay, so cheetahs. It's like you know, just it's a dark color, so we're just gonna do that, I guess. Oh god, my right click. Oh baby, I messed it up. Oh, my right click is broken. Let's use a different layer in case we change our minds. In case we make her too ugly. My ugly woman. What are you doing, my ugly woman? Okay, I prefer that. Awesome. Also, the neck, a lot of the neck fur I need to change. I'm gonna make it this color here. Similar colored area. Okay, that's fine. You know, the braid needs a lot of changes, blah, blah, blah. Let me think. I guess I could just fix up the hair overall. It's very lazy. Yeah, we were very lazy with the hair. So let's erase here, 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 here. All of this. And then we're going to erase that, sure. And we'll fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. Ah! Ooh. Let's see the layer on top. Here we go. Yeah, I went back to using binary brush because I was when I was working on Pam, I had like a bitch of a time trying to fiddle around with the drink she was holding. I just hated messing with the layers and like, oh, I can't move this or also move this. So I just went back to binary brush so I could fuck with the colors more. No regrets. Little bit regrets. Well, what would those regrets be? I guess just not sticking to binary brush, I guess. It's fine. I know why I chose to use a different brush. It's because that frog, that Kermit I was messing with, he inspired me. I think overall it was fine. It was just the glass that was really annoying for me to mess with. So I just said screw it and like went over everything. Mostly to see how it would look. And it's not like, not all that different, I don't think. Like, how polished do I want to be? And it's not really. Like, I feel bad for how long this shit is taking, but it's mostly just like, oh, what brush do I use? That's the biggest problem, is I get bored with the brushes. I don't know how people stick with one brush. One brush, or like, I get bored with shapes, you know? So I just gotta do new shapes and yada yada. It's fun, it's just impossible not to compare to how quickly I would have drawn in the past. Just recently it's felt like I've been so slow, and it's all my fault. And while it is all my fault, speed is very relative. Because like I could have been done with this, but it would have been finishing this drawing and then shooting that out. And I don't really like the drawing. My husband likes it, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to toss it up with these two. Now, I'm not super in love with these. Well, I like the Kent one more. I don't know if I like Jodie. I think her face, like it doesn't look as cute, but I think it looks better. Because when I saw the dimensions of Jodie's face, it just wasn't really working out. Like, it's fine. It reads as a cheetah just fine. But the way it sits on the head and, like, this position of the eyes, like, her eyes, I think they're just, like, too big or too weird or something. And like I was having a hard time. This one pissed me off because it's like, okay, I don't know what decision to make. Like, do I make her taller, or do I make him shorter? Do I make him wider? Do I make her wider? Like, is his hair a good choice? Does this actually rate as prom? Because at some point I was like, maybe I could put him in wedding garment. Can I make him in the flower dance? And it's just too many decisions. So it really frustrated me. So I pulled back like a lot, just made something else. I think the Pam is better. I wish I made her like thicker. I wish I put something here. I don't have to put there. I think I'm gonna add like a sunspots or like pigmentation, because you know she's like one of them older ladies who's got all them sun freckles and stuff. She's sitting on her lawn drinking. Wait, did I minimize the game? Okay, good. I thought I was just blocking my screen the whole time. So I was gonna if I did have the screen up, I was gonna run to Pam's house because she's got a trailer with like a table and then I think a plastic lawn chair and some mystery liquids. It's very familiar. This update, you know, I check the tags because it's fun to just check them at work. Just read something stupid just to disconnect. But there's a couple Pam fuckers. A lot of Gus fuckers, Willie fuckers, Gunther fuckers. I'm fond of Gunther fuckers. Marlon fuckers. We've talked about the wizard fuckers. There's a billion of them. Whatever. I'm seeing some wizard hate. People are mad at the wizard. I'm mad at the wizard. I just don't like him because like he's too powerful. Like it's not fun anymore. Because he just conjures everything. My farmer needs to be the stronger one so she can do like all the farm stuff. But if her husband is like a super powerful wizard who can just cast spells, he's just gonna like make everything grow super good. So let him. Also, I like the mystique of him just living in his tower and focusing on his the 6 or 7 elementals. So I'm fine with that. I imagine at some point he'll be marriageable, but he's just not for me. Also, his overworld sprite looks like DSP, but like, so every time I see him, I think of like that time DSP masturbated with a webcam on. He was like, oh, the webcam was on the whole time. This is so funny. It's mortifying, but oh my god. I think stuff, let's see, what do I want to see for 1.7? I should make a list of what I want to see. Watermelon seeds. For starters, I want to wake up 1.7 and get a letter that says we're now selling watermelon seeds. I want to grow watermelon in this game, and I don't want mods. I've only done 2 mods. I did Stardew Valley Expanded, but I didn't really like it. Sorry. I think when I first started playing, and I don't know if it was Stardew Valley Expanded, but it was something, but you start playing and like, oh, you unlock this other section of the overworld. It's like on the left side of the map or something, or no, it's on the right side of the map, excuse me. And like you meet this girl with pink hair who's been running a winery, and like her, I don't know, I think Gus gives you her backstory, and the whole thing was just very like, I don't, go away. I don't want to do this. I don't care about you. It just wasn't for me. So I like immediately uninstalled it. It was so funny. Like my boyfriend installed it and he's like, oh hey, this is like they got mods for this game. We'll try them out. And I was just like, baby, can you like uninstall these? I do not care for this hot pink bitch named Breakfast. I don't know, I think her parents are dead or something. Like, I don't care. Didn't ask. Oh, Why is this small businesswoman shrub-dumping on me? I don't know. A lot of people like that thing, so I'm sure it's fine. I just need to fill the void of people not complaining about it for me to complain about it. I don't know if people complain about it. I don't go looking. But I have to complain because I'm a hater. I come from a long line of haters. There's also trees mod. I think it added more trees, but like it makes trees kind of fucked up. So even on my file now, there's like trees that grow where they're not supposed to grow. Like in the middle of rivers or like on the sides of cliffs. But not in like cool ways. It's not like a mangrove tree or like the trunk is all cool and sideways. It's just, it's working. It ain't work right. And of course, I got to see some Demetrius discourse. I would say that, like, yeah, a lot of the shit's overhated, but it seems almost seems natural for this fandom. Like, I'm kind of new to a lot of the discourse, but it just seems like maybe that's every fandom where people just like the way they hate on a character is not interesting. The things they say, the things the majority of people say to express their dislike of a character isn't constructive. It kind of sounds like teenagers rage typing. It sounds familiar. It's like, oh, this is like shit I would type if I was 16 or something. So I don't like chastise openly. I just like don't read shit. But I like to read people's frustrations with the way people discuss stuff because I can see where people are coming from. But yeah, I like Demetrius. Like I think he's overhated, but I also don't think you should necessarily like a character because they're overhated or like I don't think it's healthy to what pedestalize them, which I don't really see. I don't think I see a lot of reactive like no coming to his defense. I think it's just normal like coming to his defense because of the overhate, not pedestalizing him afterwards. Another thing I want to experience is the argument he has with his wife. Because there's a scene where he argues with Robin about tomatoes, and it's like, whatever. But I didn't engage with the community. I wasn't like in the fandom when I saw this cinematic, but when I saw it, I thought, oh my god, a lot of people aren't going to be able to handle this. Because there's a lot of people who don't react very well around like couples having a disagreement, which sometimes I get, but like there's a like sometimes I'll very rarely I've seen like, oh, a streamer husband and wife were having an altercation. It wasn't like a big like knockdown drag out fight, but it was like a there was, you could tell someone was annoyed or like there was a disagreement and like the chat was really uncomfortable. And it's not because what the couple was doing was bad. They're just like uncomfortable with conflict, but it was perfectly healthy conflict for a relationship. So it's funny to see people react like so uncomfortably. So when I saw that cutscene with the two characters arguing, I'm like, okay, I don't think a lot of people will be able to handle this. They're gonna get really upset by it. And I was right, because like there's people who point to that cutscene as like, oh, these two characters don't get it would, if they divorced, I wouldn't be surprised. And like they cite that argument. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Couples argue. It's fine. Jesus. Like, I think I've heard of very few people say like, "Oh yeah, we never argue," but like the couple times I've seen it, I only had the husband's perspective, so in my mind I was thinking like, "Oh man, I bet the wife's a doormat." Which I mean, maybe she's not. Maybe they're just like literally, he just literally married his clone. But and people gonna argue about stuff. So I want to re-experience their argument to see how I feel about it now. I doubt it's that much different, but we'll see. This is gonna be great. I'm excited. I hope it doesn't get like changed or anything. That would annoy me. Because I know that there were some dialogue changes that kind of weren't great for the character. Like I really hated the dialogue change for Demetrius. In fact, he's got one where he's like, "Why do humans like dancing?" Or like, "Why do humans like spicy foods?" And I think it's meant. I don't know why this dialogue exists. It comes across as like maybe the person who wrote it was trying to give this character more dare I say autism characterization. I don't know what else that would be, because like he wouldn't fucking ask these questions. Like they're like stupid fucking questions. They're stupid questions for him, but they're asked in like a weird closed off way that doesn't sound at all scientific. And when I see Demetrius, I see like, oh, he's passionate about science. And that's got its limitations, sure, but like the way he asks those questions does not sound like the way someone who has a scientific interest. Like this man's probably got like, you know, like a master's and all this lab work and shit that like volunteer hours and just out in the field picking up small invertebrates and shit. He's not asking like, "Oh, why do humans like to dance?" It's like, you're literally dancing, dude. What is wrong with you? I hated that so much. I hope that shit gets deleted. Oh yeah, that's what I want. Watermelon seeds. Change to not 2 lines, but 2 packets. File. Now, there is dialogue that might also be made later on in relation to how a character is perceived by the community rather than like maybe what the character would say. But I think it's like kind of funny in a fucked up way. When the green rain happens, Clint has a line of dialogue that's like, "Oh, I wish something real or like something much more bigger or like, I don't know, catastrophic would happen to the valley instead of just some dumb green rain." But he corrects himself. He's like, I don't want anyone to die or anything. But still, the first half of the line is so fucking good. You know what? I think it stays. It should stay. Because like he saves himself. He just says he saves himself by saying, you know, he doesn't want anyone getting hurt. So it's not so bad. I just remember when I first read like the first part of the line where he says, "I wish something bigger would happen." I was like, holy fuck. This is not right, my man. That's like the only that's like probably the only thing I really remember him saying that was bad. But when I saw that dialogue, I thought that seems like it was influenced by outside forces. Not that someone else wrote it, but that like the character dialogue was affected by how the writer sees the community interpreting the character and like maybe accidentally or intentionally trying to make the character more in line with how they're seen by the community, which I don't want that. I don't want the community to write characters. I don't trust them. I'm sure you could, you know, make something nice, but they could also make a lot of dog shit. Also, you know, ultimately everyone would just become super horny. So, like, what do you do? Horny by committee design. Everybody can't be horny. Make Krobus. No, you can't make Krobus horny. I'm not non-binary or like asexual or whatever, but like I do get a little sad for like the aromantics and asexuals or whatever who like they really like Krobus because they do feel its representation. And someone on some Tumblr blog is like, I want to have sex with Krobus. Like, get away from him. Leave him for the aces. Let them have him. And you know what? You shouldn't be able to have a spouse and Krobus. I don't need people fucking in front of Krobus. People are having sex in front of Krobus. And he doesn't understand. You're scaring him. Hmm. You just kind of want to clean up these fuzzies here. You haven't having a great time. Still got a lot of probably a lot of grinding to do this month, but overall, you know, so far things have been okay. Tomorrow should be pretty free because I submitted my assignment today. I finished it and then I went to the submission page and there's kind of like an additional like, hey, make sure you did this thing, and I'm like, oh, I did not do that thing, so I had to like take an hour to delete some stuff and then well, like rewrite some things. There were like some graphs that I was supposed to use, and I used some graphs, but I used different ones. So I do fix my graphs and write a little paragraph about them. And then we were good to go. I feel like I'm fighting the layers right now. So yeah, I get my choice of like doing more work tomorrow or just doing like the regular amount. I'm probably just gonna do the regular amount. I've never wanted to do more transcribing. There's never been a day where it's like, oh, I could get like a lot done. It's more so just like I'm gonna do the best I can, and as long as my average is fine, like as long as I've done my contract minimum in my 12 weeks where they count my average, I'm good. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck if a work will happen. Like the work itself is fine. It's just like, you know, it gets like, oh, this is technically very boring. I think my problem is I have a hard time focusing on the storyline. There are times where I'm able to focus on like what I'm actually typing about, like the actual story, not what I'm typing, because I'm good about that. It's just like the like what happened. I don't know, just in getting invested in the characters, because my mind wanders. I make up other characters to entertain myself, so I'm not fully in it. So I get kind of bored. Hello? Oh my god. Nothing feels right. We're fighting and we're losing Bazinga. I watched a little bit of Big Bang Theory. I don't remember how I felt about it. It was one of those shows where it's like I knew it was hated, but I knew that anytime I'd watch it, no one knew that I was watching it, so I was free to feel however I wanted to about it. But I guess maybe I just didn't care for it. I didn't hate it. I liked the theme song. So that was probably points in its favor. I vaguely remember watching it and thinking, like, yeah, it's, I guess, annoying, but a lot of stuff is annoying. Once again, I'm a hater. I think I've seen some thumbnails where people do retrospectives of the show and they're like, this character is like actually a scumbag. I think it was the one who like looks like a Beatles member. He looks like kind of like a pervert. He looks like a British pervert. I don't know. I didn't click on it. It's fucking Big Bang Theory. I don't give a fuck. I don't want that shit. It's just one of those things where like I didn't watch it enough to, or I don't know what this person is talking about. Whereas Horseland, I watched every Horseland episode twice. So if someone does a retrospective, it's enjoyable because I know I kind of know how I felt when I watched an episode the first time or the second time. That's why I liked that video by Lee Speaks where she watches every Horseland episode and she's like, this show is fucked up. Yeah, it is. Theme song's great. Let's go to Horseland. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a place where we go to make the greatest friends we ever had. And the good times and not bad. Now, okay, the theme song is like, oh, you know, we're together through the good times and the bad. Those kids are awful to each other. They break up like nothing. They break up like cotton candy. They're only friends with each other because all their rich parents send them to like this horse place. I'm gonna assume they're all rich. They're horses. They all have horses and they go to horse school. I'm pretty sure don't they like stay in that horse place overnight too? Like they all have rooms? Yeah, they all gotta be rich. I think what enchanted me about that show immediately was the horse called Scarlet, because she's black and red. She's mostly black with bits of red, and I'm like, what is this goth pony show? What is this gothic horse? They got like a goth horse for goth girls, but it wasn't a goth girl. It was like a blonde girl. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Is she like into goth shit? No. She was just one of those like normal, nice characters. I think she was. I could be wrong, but I remember thinking that she's really nice and everyone else seems disproportionately rude to her. But I can't remember if that's real or like that's like a first episode thing. The hazing. Haze the new horse girl. Make her clean the beans. You know. I raised you. Oh? What? Oh, that is not a race, silly Billy. Okay, I need to add more of these. Let's go to Horseland. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a place where we go to make the greatest friends we ever had. Where we haven't added to the good times and the bad. And yeah, I remember when I was watching it both times through, like especially the first time through, as soon as they had the new character, the new writer girl with her horse, and they were like, oh, this character's Native American, it's like, oh boy, they're going to be really insensitive to teach people a lesson. Or not. Oh boy. This is going to get ham-handled. And then yeah, I was reminded most recently of the eating disorder episode of Horseland. They had a horse have an eating disorder. And it only taught the audience that, yeah, you can lose a lot of weight if you stop eating. Because the person who was, like the YouTuber who was talking about the video, they were like, they didn't suggest healthy eating alternatives to like, sorry, words escape me. They didn't teach healthy nutrition habits. They kind of just, she just got over it. The horse with the eating disorder just gets over it. And like the whole time, fucking Calypso is just calling her fat, calling her round. It was Clover. Clover gets the eating disorder, and Calypso is just making fun of her. And the horse doesn't look any different from the other horses. She's not drawn fatter. But she just, the horse hears everyone, the humans, talking about her weight. And she's like, okay, well then, I guess I'm a fat ass horse. And at one point she's like, well, if people think I'm fat, I'm just gonna eat some more food and be fat. Which was so goddamn sad. And then she's like, I'm just not gonna eat. And the episode doesn't just be like, okay, well, no, just like, I don't know, eat a little bit less or something, like exercise more, blah, blah, blah. It's just like she recovers off screen. So the horse is just teaching bad habits. The horse is giving people eating disorders. The show's miserable. What's got horse leg? Yeah, 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 yeah. Why does this color not look right? What did I do? What did I do now? Well, I think I'd use this color. Yeah. What happened to my paw? She got all messed up. Normally while working, I would, my recent thing was to watch YouTube shorts. But I was finding out that like a lot of the pet ones, I watch a lot of animal YouTube shorts. A lot of them kept being AI. And it's like, that's just annoying. Like I feel when I am, when I think, okay, this is a pet video and I go to watch it and it turns out it's AI, I just feel like I'm being insulted. Like some asshole is tricking me. So I don't want to fucking watch the video because I don't like feeling insulted. 'Cause there's no end to pet videos. They're everywhere. When you make them up, it's just mean. And I say, please do not show me this ever again. And frankly, I've just been not looking at as much pet content anymore. Ooh, I think maybe one thing I might want to do is consider decorating. So there's like two websites that I've used for decorating in Stardew Valley. I forget what they're called, but they allow you to like plonk down furniture in your house, in a house, just to see what it looks like. It's not like perfect because there's a lot of little weird interactions that are specific to the game and not specific to this these browsers. But I need to do that again because at some point, Bean Day will need to have a house with her and Clint. And like, what's the design? I definitely want to incorporate that one wallpaper that looks like a bunch of Cheetos. Oh my God, that's my favorite. I think about that wallpaper like a lot because we have cheese balls downstairs, and I think, damn, I love cheese balls. I love cheesy puffy snacks. How do I let the whole world know when I think, ooh, decorating with cheese puffs, and I think about that wallpaper. So that'll probably be in Bean Day's house. Oh my God, what am I doing? I'm thinking about cheese puffs. Becoming sloppy and distracted. Mind full of cheese balls. Now this whole ponytail area, we're kind of like not doing anything with it, so maybe I should look up, let's see, Jody. Gotta look up her ponytail. I think it's a braid. See, like, fucking a second result. Jody makes me so uncomfortable. Shut the fuck up. That's my contribution. Eat my ass. The gloves are off. Jody is not your mother. She cannot get you. They're not the same person. Oh. Nah, I don't know what that person's talking about. Honestly, it's probably not great. Because it's, again, it's like another character people talk about, and it's like, did we play the same fucking game? Oh, I have had opinions since reading all this Discord stuff, this discourse. I hope I don't regret it. It's very easy for me to be mean. So sometimes when I go off, I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I should reel it in. But then my boyfriend will be like, no, it's funny. So we're good. So I don't know. I gotta be careful. I get excited. Balls. Just two big balls. Not studs. That's boring. Maybe I'll change them, actually. I probably should. Wait, this is not the right color, baby girl. Come here. There you go. But yeah, I am feeling in the mood to draw with the other brush, the not the non-parent brush, the pencil brush. It's back and forth. Grass is always greener. That's my problem. That's my bane. If I was born with a real life affliction, like not like a disability, but like a boon or a bane, that would be one of my banes. It's called the grass is always greener, and like I'm always looking to the opposite, and so on and so forth. But it's like only to specific things, specific art things. Everything else is pretty normal. And I would say it's like, oh, it's debilitating. It's just, it takes so much time. That's what really digs into my brain, is basically drawing the same thing a couple different times. It sucks. But like, generally, I get something out of it. So I don't know how to feel. You know? Hello. Hi, hey, hello. Oh man, is this all gonna look like one big line? I think that's safe. Let's make the loopies, the Brady's, a little bit smaller. Maybe we can just shove them in. Grab them. And then push them towards her neck.
A little space right there, so we can see a little bit.
Yeah, because I like to use different brushes or different shapes. And under normal circumstances, well, I mean, in the past, I would have said, oh, I should just like not do that. I need to like restart the drawing, or not restart the drawing, but like just give up on the drawing. But I've heard mixed advice when it comes to stuff like that over time. It's like, if you're working on something for a long time, or like it's too long, like you give up on it. Or I've heard the opposite, like keep working on it and just like put it away. So there's no right answer for whether or not what I'm doing is actually useful in like learning, but I feel like I get something out of it. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. Unfortunately, I'm naturally a very impatient person. That's with like all things, like schoolwork and just regular work and stuff. So it's a process that's butting up against my natural impatience. But like, it's not great that I'm impatient, because that's inconvenient, because a lot of things require time, you know, they're not just instantaneous. So little internal war. Yeah, we'll figure it out one day, or not. Maybe we won't figure it out. Is that I'm going for a cheetah. Cheetah's got like this big thing.
Cheetah, please.
I picked cheetah for Jody because secondarily it's like a sleek looking animal, which I think worked with Jody. She seems like she's very obsessive about her appearance. But also cheetah, I read that they're very anxious animals. There's this zoo where they have the cheetah, and it's in the same exhibit with like a golden retriever or something, because the retriever is like its support animal. The retriever calms it down. And Jody's a very stressed lady. She's always trying to look after everything her family needs, like all their laundry and cooking, she has all the cleaning, all the dinner, all this stuff. And she feels like kind of alone in this, in like what she's doing, because her husband, for a while, I think he was like not just away at military, I think he was like straight up a POW. So she was like freaking out about that shit. And she's just at home by herself, because her oldest son, he doesn't even do his laundry. So she does a lot of the work at the house. And then, you know, her husband finally comes back home and he's like kind of fucked up. So, and on top of it all, she like doesn't, I don't think she wants kids. I think she regrets having kids at her age, however old, I have no idea how old she is, but she comes across as like wishing that she had more time to explore herself and just not get immediately tied down to kids. That's how I read her interactions and her story. And it's I think that's very fine. I remember when I first saw her like express exhaustion over her family, I'm like, hell yeah, this character rocks. Because I was actually, I remember even being really young and thinking like, I'm afraid to have kids because like, what if I don't like them? Like, apparently this is like a thing. You could just have kids and you're like, damn, this is like really inconvenient. Like I'm going to take care of them and do the best I can, but holy fuck, I want my time back. So it's possible. And like sometimes you can look down your own family tree and be like, the mothers that I know of or like maybe even one's own mother. It's like she didn't want to do this. That might be me. And so Jody reminded me of that type of predicament where it's like you're kind of locked in stalls. Yeah, that's why initially when I drew these two characters together, Jody and her husband Kent, it was gonna be like I was gonna make Jody kind of pregnant and imply high school pregnancy, but this drawing kind of like there's too many things that I wasn't certain about when it came to not only like the technical drawing but also like the storytelling. So I kind of gave up on it. But that was one aspect where I was wondering if like did Jody get pregnant in high school? Because yeah, that's the thing a lot of people do. I knew one. I didn't have a lot of friends in high school, but I did know one girl that I was friends with who got pregnant in high school. She kind of like we drifted apart, so I don't know if she even graduated or whatever. But yeah, there was like one girl I knew who got pregnant. And every now and then I think about like, oh, like maybe if I got pregnant in because that's something that I think about. Because like when they're a baby, they're difficult, and when they're like a little kid, they're difficult. But I do think about like, oh, if I got pregnant, how old might could be now? And it's like, well, they'd still be a fucking handful. They're dependent for a very long time. So when it came to Cheetah, what I did for all these characters, all these Stardew Valley characters is I found a website that generates a list of animals, and I just made everyone a unique animal. And it got a little tricky. Jody was definitely like slightly tricky. But I think Cheetah fit her pretty well. And then we got to like the final three, and they were Kent, who's this guy, and then there were the governor, who's unpictured, he's on a different layer, and Pam. And my options were like Komodo dragon, rhino, hippo, moose, and I was like, I like those animals, but I moved away from Komodo dragon, so I had a very narrow band of options. But regardless, I wouldn't know what I'd pick for Kent, like what other animal, because everyone else is taken. Like, I guess the default option would be, oh, make him a bear. But I'd already decided to make Clint a bear long before, and I think it works better. But yeah, I wasn't going for like, oh, if they're married, they should be the same species, because that's always like just bored the complete shit out of me. Like ever since I was young and I'd watch cartoons where like there's a husband and wife character and they look like brother and sister. I was like, what the fuck is going on there? So I'm a big fan of like not confining yourself to making furry characters the same species. I think that's really fun. Because like if you make, let's say, one character a bear, but then they're married to someone who just would be better suited as like a horse or something, well then you're fucked. And same with their kids. So this is more to like how it affects their lineage. And yeah, it's the same thing where it's like, yeah, it's a cheetah and a moose, and their son is a rabbit. Their son is Sam, and I'm making him a rabbit. Vincent is their other son. He's gonna be an anteater, I think. And like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like biologically. Because I don't want to think. Because I don't know how the fuck you would pick one thing. Like there's like a furry mod or two for Stardew Valley, and I like it's like the choices for characters I'm fine with, but then it's like, well then if you make, let me think. No, it's basically what I just said, where it's like you're kind of confining yourself to one animal, and then you have to pick like the perfect animal for this entire family. Oh my goodness. I'm fighting the layers. I don't know if I made any animal choices, like species choices, based off like other characters. I went off of vibes for everyone. That's what I tried to do. I'm just gonna get rid of this here because she is not helping me right now. I'll keep it a little vague at the waterline. It's not important. Also, then you just get to draw more animals. That's the rules. That's why we're here on this planet, to draw animals. Alright, her face needs some help. She's not very shiny. Let's see, let's look up cheetahs again. Where's the cheetahs? Type in cheetahs. I guess my one regret is not locking down a method that I wanted to draw all these characters as and like putting them all in a template to put them together. That's like maybe a far off thing I could do. I already had a shower thought of, ooh, what if I made them all insects next? But I'm like, please, witch, be still your mind. There's a reading a comic on Instagram called Suburban Fairy Tales, and there's one of the three little pigs is dating a wolf. Yeah, that's fun. Like, I think it's weird that Hello Kitty's just dating the male version of her with bad hair. Like, I think it was cool that I think it's fun when they like pair them with different animals. Like, why are we going for realism here? Because that's the argument. Like, well, they gotta fuck. Like, I'm not thinking about Hello Kitty having sex with Tuxedo Sam. Like, I'm just thinking, oh, look at these cute characters together. Because what I'm thinking about is, like, the thematics of it all. Whether it be my personal themes that I attach to wolves, my local cultures or national cultures themes that it attaches to wolves, or just, like, what I know about wolves culturally, like, from all over. Like, certain cultures would maybe... I learned that iguanas are thought of as very relaxed in some cultures. So Gus, the bar owner, who's very affable, he's going to be an iguana. He was also a tough one. He was one of the characters who I was like, I think getting at the very few picks left, and it's like, oh gosh, what works? But iguana works for something chill. So like if I see a pig and a wolf together, it's like, oh cool, that's got like a lot of weird, maybe contradicting themes. Or like, ooh, how do they, like, what do they eat? There's a web series. It's like 5 flash videos, and it's called Sambaksa. It's Korean. It started in like the mid 2000s, I think, and I think it finished. Well, I think it finished a while ago, but it took a while because they were all like flash videos. I don't think they were made just by some guy, but maybe by like some guy at first and then a small team. Anyway, the story is about a bunny and a kitty, and they live in a world where bunnies date bunnies and kitties date kitties. And the bunny sees this kitty, and he's, you know, getting his cup of fish drink at the vending machine next to her vending machine with like where she's getting her cup of carrot juice, and she sees him and she's just smitten. She's smitten with this cat man. And the whole video series is about them living in a world where where a lot of other individuals in their society do not care for their relationship, but they also have a lot of support. So it's fun. I guess what I'm trying to evoke is like the kitty cat character eats fish and then the bunny girl eats carrots. So what the bunny girl does at the end of the first Unboxa video is she's trying out his disgusting fish drink, and she's got like a plug on her nose. So just little ways that they would interact. Like if you have a wolf and a pig going on a date together, what restaurant do they go to? Yeah, that's like the trouble with when you want to attach those real themes to like kind of more cutesy shit like animals. It's like how, like, what are you really trying to say? Because it's very possible that like you might actually say a really fucked up message depending on how hard you want to relate real races to real people, like real races to animals. because it's like not the same, so it's very easy to accidentally fuck up and have like a harmful message. So like human race allegories with like animal characters in a cartoon thing aren't my favorite. I don't mind when they go for like they go for like overcoming a discrimination thing like in some boxa, because I don't view them as any sort of allegory for a human race. And I think the messaging comes across. Like I can't remember any media off the top of my head, but I swear I've seen some media where they tried to make it like a race allegory, and it accidentally didn't work out because they got lost in the animal aspects and may have suggested something unkind. The wolf lady, I think, is a vegetarian or vegan. Oh, that's interesting. I think pigs actually eat all sorts of crazy shit. So you could have like this vegetarian wolf and then the pig just go into town. Because I know in there's a show my husband really likes called Deadwood, and there's a character who owns a pig trough, and this character gets referenced for times when other characters need to dispose of a body, because his pigs will eat the body because they just eat all sorts of stuff. I think that's cool. I think that's fun, just like eating stuff. I like animals that just eat shit all day. Like it's just a little fat boy. Like, here's my little fat boy. And it's just a pig. Like, yes, he's doing it. He's being a little fat boy. Oh, no, wait, what? That's crazy. Is it like the thing where, Pluto has a dog? So, like, there's dog people and also regular dogs? So, like, there's the pig, and she's sapient, but then there's just regular pigs, and they're farmed. And nobody really says anything about it. They're all chill. Pluto is the regular dog. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Goofy. Goofy's the man. Goofy's sapient and Pluto's sentient, I think. I'm trying out those words because they mean different things, and I learned about sapient recently. So I've been experimenting with it, because sapient means like human-like or something, and then sentient is just like, oh, it experiences things or something. Because I like when it is brought up, when there are fantasy worlds where there's like hybrid, there's sapient animal thingies, but then there's just regular ones, and just nobody really says anything. They just act normal. Because I'm not a big Disney girl, so I'm not super attached to like all the characters, but I don't need Pluto and Goofy to live in separate universes. I'm content. I like that they're together. It's weird. It's cute. Goofy's cute. Goofy's handsome. He's definitely a character where it's like where if you find some person who wants to marry Goofy and like have sex with Goofy, it's like I get it. And so he's got a lot going on. And Pluto's pretty cute. Like, he's kind of ugly, But like, I don't want to get rid of Pluto. He's fine. He's a perfectly fine little fella in the universe. So I'm cool with them both existing. All of this back and forth with brushes is just me trying to figure out how I like to color, because I hate coloring, I hate painting. I'm always looking for gimmicks, and the binary brush is a gimmick because it's easy to manipulate colors, but ugh, that's all it is. It's just because I fucking hate painting, dude. Suburban Fairy Tales is the people who made the That's okay. Gosh, speaking of comics, I've seen more and more people say, "Ooh, I want to make a Stardew Valley comic," and that's just really cute. I'm not gonna say I missed comics because like comics are always around, but it's been a while since I read comics and stuff, and I still don't have an appetite for them, but I like seeing people want to make those because there's just more storytelling, but it's like slightly less text. Well, it's less text, but more drawing. When I was younger, I wanted to make webcomics. Oh my God. I didn't want to make Penny Arcade because that's like a humor comic and a gaming comic, and I didn't play a lot of video games, but I did want to make a web comic, but I had no story. I'm not a very good storyteller or writer, and I get bored of my stories. Like I let them kind of play out in my head on my little OCs, and then by the time like I could get around to drawing it, it's like, well, I already played it out in my head. I'm not super interested in illustrating it, so there's very little impetus or whatever to actually make a comic because I got nothing in the tank. I don't even know what it'd look like. I think I'd want to like figure out what it looked like beforehand. Also, you know, it would suck to draw a comic in one style and switch up because I love switching up styles, my fucking God. And that's not right. That's not healthy. I don't think for a comic that's a great idea. That's why I realized that I didn't want to do commissions because I just wanted to draw in too many different ways. And if you promise someone a drawing in one style, and you give them another, that's weird. Okay, so I'm gonna loop all of this junk. Okay, oh, gosh, my poor right click. She's broken, I broke her. She sticks now. Oh, poor baby. Similar colored area. Pixels, there we go. And then all this is just gonna be this color. What? Why is it? Oh, the there we go. Well, let's go to Horseland. Yeah. Oh, this color over here. There's a place where we go to make the greatest friends we ever had. Similar color area. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I did like the art for Penny Arcade for a while. It got a little, I would say over stylized for my taste, personally, over time. I don't know what it looks like nowadays, but I did like it for a healthy span of its lifetime. I think a lot of the jokes probably flew over my head because I wasn't a gamer. I kept reading these gaming webcomics because a lot of them were decently drawn, and I really liked looking at the art. And I don't know, I just like some of the attitudes of it. I thought were like not in your face, but they were very different. It made me feel like I was part of an exclusive group, or like I guess just part of a subculture. Yeah, part of a subculture. So I liked reading them, even though I probably didn't get a lot of them. But I'm sure most of the jokes I got just because they were like probably not very highbrow. They were probably just raunchy shit. Like, oh, look at this game mechanic. Where it's like, I can kind of get that. I can get game mechanics oftentimes. Suburban Fairy Tales is made by Francis Bonnet, and his comic got picked up by the people who published the Popeye comics. Comics Kingdom. Oh, wow. That's cool. I don't know anything about this, but it sounds basically like he got more money. He's getting more money for making comics. Sounds like he probably has a contract to make X amount of comics, and he gets X amount of money. So that's good to get locked into something, locked in money. Also, there was like webcomics drama that was kind of funny. It was pretty lowbrow, or I mean low stakes. King Syndicate. Let's see. Comic King. Oh yeah, there it is. The Comics Kingdom website, Suburban Fairy Tales. I was mostly just clicking to see if I've ever seen this before. It doesn't seem like it doesn't look super familiar to me. So I was just curious. Well, there's some mild... No, I think it's just a stylistic thing. I think the style is very familiar, but I have not seen this comic before. Oh, so it's the Three Little Pigs. Okay. And they have little numbered shirts. Do they ever switch the numbers? So is this wolf guy? There's a panel I see where he's like blowing aggressively. He's at the pig man. Is this wolf guy like pissed off because this pig man is with his fine ass wolf honey? Oh, okay. I'm also just not privy to a lot of newspaper comics or just comics in general, so I'm not surprised I don't know it. That's kind of how like things are, as the world there's more and more people making more and more stuff across the planet, so you learn about some comic that's like huge and it's like, oh, 10 years ago I would have heard about it, but now you don't. But if it is new, that also impacts its reach. Brother and sister. So is the brother mad that his sister's dating a fine-ass pig man who has his life together? Which pig is that? Is she with the third pig? Because the third pig has a brick house, if I recall, and he can't blow it down. Like, I'm assuming it's jealousy, because I don't know if it's like, culturally the wolf would care. He might. There's some cultures where they give a shit about that. Or, like, the immediate family cares more about, marriage. The person that the character is marrying, character. So, like, I don't know, maybe his dad set him up to it. Because I've seen one panel, but I see this wolf man being mean. He's an evil face on. He's getting hurt. He's being affected by, he's the subject of physical comedy. Yeah, dare I say, oh my gosh, he's fighting his sister? They're mauling each other? I mean, I guess. Like, who am I to criticize? I'm not a wolf person. Maybe that's just, like, how they do things. Because, like, generally, you don't really hit your spouse or, like, your brother. But, like, maybe you do hit your brother. And, like, maybe especially so if you're a wolf. Like, that's just how they have to resolve familial conflicts, is just biting and scratching at each other. Oh, okay. That's all right. Yeah, I have it open in Google Images, so I'm just looking at pictures without text. I'm seeing some characterization though. Like definitely in the way the pigs are drawn themselves, but also just like what other characters there are. Because like the concept of there being another wolf is like, oh, what the hell does that mean? And yeah, you've got the pig with the glasses, who I'm assuming is kind of smart based off the way he seems to carry himself. And then there's like a pig who just looks depressed. I think that would be the pig whose house is made of straw. So maybe he's just like, I settled for straw. I'm not really doing anything else. Everyone can leave me alone. Because he looked really pissed. He had like a triangle shaped head. And he's always got like a bored expression. When I first saw them and they had the glasses one, I almost thought it was like, oh, is this Alvin and the Chipmunks? Because I hate those little pieces of shit, but they look different. Oh, Little Red is in here? Pinocchio is in here? And Frog. I want to see Little Red. Okay, there's Little Red. I see her. She just straight up got her Red Riding Hood on. Good for her. Oh, she's being stalked by the brother wolf. I googled her. She shows up pretty quickly. I'm looking at her. I see this comic where the brother wolf, it seems to be following her. That's pretty messed up. This guy's got no boundaries. I don't think this guy respects women very much. And judging by it, he doesn't have any male friends either, so he's just kind of an asshole. Dare I say Brother Wolf is an asshole. That's how I'm gonna judge him. Oh, okay, you're trying to see what I see. Yeah, just looking at the panel, glancing at the panel art. And using my induction, what is it, induction? Is that the phrase skill? I'm using my oven skills. Sometimes we don't choose the right words, we just go for vibes. Like, what word feels right? Also, it doesn't look like the snow stuck today, thank God. I'm so fucking sick of snow. Snow pisses me off when it stops interrupting work. Snow pisses me off when you still gotta go to work. Like, I've had enough. Okay. Sure. Yeah, someone did make a comment when they were talking about, like, oh, here we go. Share. That's nerve-wracking. Whatever. Oh, I see. Okay. That comic does actually show up immediately. Immediately on the Google image. I've just never used a share link before. Yeah, they've expanded the universe. I kind of like some fairy tale media when it does that. Like it slowly shows you that, oh yeah, there's also this other stuff. I never got really too much into that one live action fairy tale show called Once Upon a Time, but I did like the idea of it. I kind of watched a lot of episodes. I was mostly doing other stuff while it was on. That was in my phase where it's like, ooh, I have Netflix. I'm going to watch all of these shows. But yeah, the fairy Once Upon a Time was one such show. So I like when a lot of I like when a lot of these little universes come together because I like a lot of superhero ensemble stuff. Not so much Marvel, but I did like the movie Sky High. I did like My Hero Academia because I like when it's a lot of superheroes just because I like to see how this world like mashes all of these freaks together and what they can all do in one location. Oh, fairy tales, it's kind of similar. Yeah, it's kind of similar. Just replace like, oh, this guy can shoot lightning with like, oh, this guy's he lies a lot and his nose gets big. Oh, just a little bit more to clean up, and then we can hopefully get rid of this one. Bin this shit. I'm sick of this shit. What's so Once Upon a Time is Disney? Because I didn't know anything about who made it. I don't know. Disney to me like doesn't really have it. Disney to me is like the Lion King and stuff, but I know they have so much more. So it's either like Lion King or no identity. Oh, it's on Disney Plus. And yeah, they had like all the dwarves and stuff. Okay, so ABC Studios is a division of Disney ABC Television Group. Producers of Once Upon a Time had exclusive permission to use the internet. I don't know if that totally answers my question. Disney Identity was originally public domain properties. Yeah, so basically it's like they're kind of like doing similar workings. The Rumpelstiltskin character was really hot though. Oh my gosh. I liked watching that. I like watching him interact with Belle. That was like some fucking I was like, oh, I'd read this fan fiction. I think at a certain point, he was the only reason I was watching that show, and then I don't know, I just stopped watching it just because, like, I don't know, I'm not following any of this. What am I? I get existential dread. That's why I stopped watching Supernatural. Past a certain point, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. I'm getting existential dread. I need to stop watching the show. They had the three little pigs in Once Upon a Time. What? Oh, I don't think they did. They're too scared. I don't know what they do with them. Oh, I guess anything really. They had Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time. He was like kind of gross and hot. He was hot in a gross way and gross in a hot way. I don't know if that's what most people think, but that's what I thought when I saw it. And then I saw like 10 years later someone say the same thing or something similar. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to say it. I liked him. I thought he was. I liked this disgusting man. Disgusting evil man. I don't know if he's evil or good. He was one of those characters who knows a lot, so it could kind of go either way. I think the queen woman also had moments like that, where the episode ends on her having an interaction where the audience is meant to ask, oh, is she actually doing something for the greater good or whatever? I remember feeling that way, at least. I'm kind of sad that I didn't have the patience to watch the show, because there's like a lot of YouTubers who have videos about it, and I thought, oh, that'd be kind of like fun background noise, but I just don't I don't recall any of the episodes enough. I vaguely know that, oh, they had the baby in the wardrobe or some shit like that. Past that, it's like I don't really follow this. That's why it's just been Madoka Magica stuff lately. I had a great time. I've been having a great time on my weekends, just like zoning out and listening to people talk about the themes in Madoka Magica. Because you can have like a lot of different interpretations of things. It's another property where I like watching different creators make videos about it. Like, oh, here's like different video creators' views on Sayaka or their opinions on Sayaka or how they read into her character, just because everyone has something generally different to say. I don't know this story of Rumpelstiltskin. All I know is something where you have to guess his name. Yeah, I heard the story of Rumpelstiltskin when I was in first grade, maybe younger than that. Yeah, something to do with a curse and a person's mortality tied to like saying his name or enslavement. I think a woman had to spin straw into gold. And she could be released from her duties if she could tell Rumpelstiltskin, well, if she could name the guy. Spin straw into gold. See if there's something short on Wikipedia. Oh gosh, this isn't really short enough. Yeah, I don't remember. There's like a king and then the little man might be helpful. I don't know. I think maybe. I think at a certain point, a lot of them just come across as like silly bullshit. Because you have to remember that not all pieces of art or literature or whatever made in olden times were made. Some stuff was just silly bullshit. Because that's always got to exist. Because people love silly bullshit. They like penis jokes, they like poop and butt and fart, and they've been loving that forever. So I imagine a lot. I imagine a number of these Brothers Grimm's fairy tales or whatever. I imagine a lot of them got like are stupid. Also, what isn't socially acceptable and like what you would want to teach would change over time. So I'm sure there's a lot of the stories where it's very hard to discern what they're trying to say just because we're so distant from them culturally and like they're temporally. So there might be some sort of moral baked in there, but it's a little bit inaccessible. Oh yeah, like I said, it could also be nothing. Because I saw a video where someone was explaining, I think it was I don't know if it was Rapunzel, but it was something similar, and they were going through all of the iterations of the story, and there was a number of times while they were talking about the story or retelling it through the iterations, they were like, "Yeah, I don't really know why this happened," because they would also be inclined to relay like a greater meaning to the story, but at times they were like, this version of the story kind of sucked. I got way more out of this other version." And I like that. I like when it's just the meaning is nothing. Nothing significant. Nothing significant and specific in genre. When I was growing up, I thought fairy tales were these happy endings. Oh, right. Yeah, that's really common. I think my assessment of fairy tales when I was growing up is weird books. Because I found a lot of fairy tales to be kind of weird. Why am I reading this? My favorite one? Oh my gosh. Is there like a list of fairy tales? Oh yeah, the person was talking about Sleeping Beauty because their thesis or whatever for Sleeping Beauty, the Disney movie was like, who is the protagonist in Sleeping Beauty? Because like it's not who you think, and they were talking about all the different forms of Sleeping Beauty. That's what it was. I forget the YouTuber. Well, she's not my favorite fairy tale, but the one that just made me snort laugh out of my nose just now is like the Hansel and Gretel one. Because like on what grounds do I value a fairy tale? And I think it's just story. So I think Hansel and Gretel might be my favorite story. Because like you kind of don't. I think I kind of didn't expect the kids to get eaten, but they totally get eaten. I'm like, this is awesome. About time. You know, I'll never stop saying it. I'm a born hater. Came out of the womb hating. Of course I like Hansel and Gretel. Stupid. Let's see. So Snow White. I got nothing out of Snow White. I didn't get much out of Little Riding Hood or Goldilocks. Goldilocks and Three Bears just kind of funny. But maybe not that one. Princess and the Pea. No. Tinkerbell. Nope. Sleeping Beauty. Little Bo Peep, Rapunzel. Beauty. It's probably like what? Beauty and the Beast. Dancing Princess. Little Mermaid. Alice in Wonderland. Thumbelina. Princess and the Frog. I don't know. Probably Hansel and Gretel. Because I don't know enough about these fairy tales. It's like these two kids who go in the woods and they stumble upon a house, and it's a really alluring house. I think it's made of candy or something, has some other attributes of it that are desirable, and they like start eating the house or otherwise being very rude, and it's not their property. They didn't ask permission. They don't know the person who owns the house, but I think the message is like, get the fuck out of my house. Quit eating my house, you little shits. And the house is owned by a witch who eats children, and she captures the children and she eats them. I'm sure there's stories where the kids get rescued, but that's... Who cares? That's boring. But yeah, I think what I like about that one is the candy house and that the kids get eaten. It's like, why do you have a candy house? You horrible woman. I like it. Yeah, like, why are you handsome? Because, like, I don't know if that's, like, the original, in quotes, version of it. I've heard some person on the internet imply, like, there's not really... It's hard to pin down the original version of many fairy tales just because they're so traded throughout the years. So when I say original Hansel and Gretel, I don't know what I'm talking about. See, this one says, Wikipedia entry says, Hansel and Gretel are siblings who are abandoned in a forest. Okay, well that makes them seem a little bit less asshole-ish, and they fall into the hands of a witch who lives in a house made of bread, cake, and sugar. Oh, and this stupid story, she doesn't eat the kids. Boo. In some stories, she even gets killed. Yeah, right. I don't believe this at all. I think she gets the kids and she eats them. At the end, Hansel kills and eats the switch. That'd be so crazy. Oh my god. Okay, that's kind of like cool if the kids eat the witch. Because it does seem as though there are stories where Gretel saves her brother by pushing the witch into her own oven, killing the witch. Oh, that reminds me of, okay, there's this one book I read by this author named Chris Woody. He's like a British author and he makes a lot of fantasy novels. He made one called Poison, and in Poison, the girl and her entourage, she's friends with like this old guy and this cat, and they have to cross dimensions, and they cross the dimensions by going through a witch's house. And she's a witch who eats people. Her shtick is that she's blind, but she has sight hounds who smell for her. No, she's blind, but she smells things. And her dogs cannot smell things, but they hear or feel or something very well. So I think the witch in the book I'm referring to gets killed by getting pushed into her own pot of whatever crap she was stirring up in her cauldron. Anywho, but yeah, so it seems like it's pretty normal for the kids to live. But it'd be funny if they ate the witch. That's disgusting. I like that version, if they eat the witch. Yeah, I don't know why I just never got much out of, I guess, Disney movies, and as an extension, fairy tales growing up. I don't know what it was. They just weren't my slice of cake. I was never eager to watch them. I remember not really being able to watch Lion King. I just didn't think it was very, it just couldn't hold my attention. I don't know why. I mean, maybe that means something, that so many things in my life didn't hold my attention. Maybe I should have been medicated. Oh well. I'm probably okay now, but I think maybe back then I probably realistically would have been medicated, but it wasn't super common to like, I don't think it was very common when I was younger to consider attention deficit. So it makes sense that it wouldn't have been like a thing that my parents thought about. Because as I got older, I didn't really think about it. I just thought I was stupid or something, which isn't very helpful. But yeah, I didn't really think about attention deficit medication of any sort. I think a lot of Disney movies, the TVs that they were played on also they were very grainy, older TVs. Everything just looked grainy. I like the stuff that didn't look too grainy. And that just happened to be like more modern cartoons at the time. So like Rocket Power. I liked watching Rocket Power. That was a weird show at times. I kind of want to watch Rocket Power again. Woody, 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 woody. Something I liked about Rocket Power is that they had one character in the friend group who was introduced as a guy who they could make fun of and not feel bad about. And I imagine at the end of the episode, they all kind of got along and stopped making fun of him. But he always stuck with me as like, yeah, this character is their friend, but like, man, they made fun of him a lot. Like, it was really easy to make fun of him. It was Squid. I think I read one of those old ass Little Mermaids. I was like fourth grade, and it was free time on the computer, and I had like literally nothing else to do. So I read Little Mermaid, but there was also some story I read. I don't remember anything about it, but it was like I guess it would be an Indian equivalent of a fairy tale. There's like a tiger in it and stuff. I think it was a website that had older versions of fairy tales just in text form. So you just like just an old website. It might be. It's one of those old websites where it's run by a teacher. Tiger. Yeah, I don't remember anything about the fairy tale, but it might have been a somewhat popular one. I couldn't tell you at all. I imagine there's a lot of Indian fairy tales that involve tigers. I'm pretty sure they're like vaguely around that habitat. The website, oh, I couldn't get you that one either. That website might not even be live anymore. The teacher who ran it might like be dead by now. Oh. This is one of those very old Times New Roman ass websites. You can probably find something similar somewhere on the internet. Because all that stuff's just, it's text, it's not very storage heavy, I imagine. I'm sure it's all public domain. Or at least nobody's looking. I'm fond of those teacher websites. I haven't had to do a proper research paper in a while, but They always come in clutch. I think I had to use one a couple years back. I don't know if they were like GeoCities or whatever. I think they were just some other web hosting service. I imagine Wikipedia would have a lot of these types of stories. I mean, at least sources, you know, at the bottom. That was always so annoying. I get like, oh, don't use Wikipedia for a source, but like you could tell students like if you do find Wikipedia contains words that are very useful, you can go to the bottom of the page and grab a reference from there, and then you can use that reference, blah, blah, blah. But there's just this hard line of don't use Wikipedia or you will be killed. Like, come on. Maybe they just didn't want to teach kids how to read Wikipedia citations. Because they're a little bit different from MLA format, I think. At least these don't look like any shit I'd use. Like, they got little carets and brackets and superscript. We weren't using that. Oh, I'm distracted. I'm getting distracted. Let's see. Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, we also supposed to be looking at the sources for the reading. Yeah, I don't know if these are... I don't have the in-text whatever reference, so I don't even know what the hell these are. But I do imagine that under the Wikipedia, you go there and you click on fairy tales and you just find like a bunch of fairy tale lists, and then you click on one that interests you and you like look for the sources for the original one. And that's it. That's how you're gonna consume them. That's what I would do if I had to go find a list of fairy tales. Well, I'd probably just type out list of fairy tales in Google and see what comes up. Yeah. Like, don't have sex with your mom. Yeah, it's a lesson. And we all know. It's a fairy tale, right? It's a fairy tale lesson. I guess I don't know what isn't a fairy tale. That's a good question. A children's story about magical and imaginary beings and lands. Sure. Yeah. I don't think it's like a fairy tale. I think it's like probably older than a lot of fairy tales, just like old like interpretations of old plays where some character has sex with her mom and then everything goes to shit. It seems like it's a lot of cautionary stuff. So they're not fairy tales, but they're other types of moral stories. Because I think I think fairy tale maybe emphasizes children's story. I don't think what I'm referring to is a children's story. I don't know if children are allowed to watch those plays. I'm sure they got taken. Because what are you gonna do? Just leave them at home? Oh, but they're probably gonna be. Oh, they're not gonna. Would they have enjoyed the plays? Would they have been rowdy during the plays? Were there any kids at the Globe Theater, like watching Shakespeare plays and not being rowdy? Rowdy children at the Globe Theater. I am bored of these two. Let's see. Let's like give some slight fixins because I don't like this drawing, but my husband likes it, so I'm just gonna post it. I appreciate his input. Oh yeah, I want to fix up Kent's colors up top a little bit. Pixels. Yeah, make see. Let's isolate this color. Damn, I think I just don't have a favorite fairy tale. I think I was never close to them as a concept growing up. I think fairy tales were so dominated by Disney movies at the time that I just didn't give a shit because I just wasn't interested in Disney movies. And because I was such a hater, I was kind of not willing to engage with Disney movies in like an open-minded way. They were so ubiquitous. It was like, this shit is getting shoved down my throat. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these goddamn Disney movies. I'm sick of every single cartoon being Disney this, Disney that. So I guess I kind of just hated Disney shit too much to ever form any type of fondness for a fairy tale. And, you know, like Disney things would have been a massive exposure to fairy tales. I'm thinking like children's books. I mean, I read Frog and Toad growing up, but I don't know if that's a fairy tale. I think they're just like two roommates in quotes that just hang out with each other. The books were great. I'm sad I got rid of my books, but it would have happened. I didn't think people would think about them later on and then thus remind me of Frog and Toad, but Frog and Toad was really cute. Like I'm pretty sure the stories of Frog and Toad, it's just this frog and this toad, and they live in a house together or something, and they hang out in like a dreary frog and toad world, so it's like kind of a swamp. The colors are swampy. That's a feeling that I remember from reading Frog and Toad. It's just a sense of it felt dreary, but not like sad dreary. Okay, the feeling that I got reading Frog and Toad came back a little bit later when I was watching Salad Fingers. I think it's the worlds are similar. Because Salad Fingers is a disgusting, dreary world, and Frog and Toad felt like that because of the colors, because of how small the world is. Frog and Toad don't interact with a lot of people. It's kind of just them two doing their own thing. So it's not like a colorful world with all these characters. And Salad Fingers is, I mean, it's got like character. It's kind of colorful, but it's like fucked up colors. Oh, they wear a bathing suit. Frog and Toad. I in a bathing suit. Oh my gosh. Oh, let me get like this isn't Japanese, but it's fine. Copy image. Yeah. He does look funny in a bathing suit. Oh no, did people yell at him? Did people laugh at him? Why is this on Course Hero? Okay, yeah, people are laughing. Is there just Frog and Toad on Course Hero? Course Hero is like a website that you use to cheat on assignments. Toad climbed out of the river. The water dripped out of his bathing suit and down to his feet. The turtle laughed, the lizards laughed, the snake laughed, the field mouse laughed, and Frog laughed. Frog, your dick is out. Shut up. Ha ha. He sinned. He covers himself, haha, for he has sinned. Grow up. Wait, why is he wearing clothes? Why does he feel shame? Did he eat from the tree? Did he gain the knowledge of good and evil or something? This is crazy. See, like, Frog doesn't care. Frog's got his cock out. Or her cock out. Oh, here we go. That's a continuation of that scene. This is, Toad is saying, don't look at me. I don't think Frog is saying anything. Why not, asked Frog. Because I look funny in my bathing suit. That is why, said Toad. Frog closed his eyes when Toad came out from behind the rocks. Toad was wearing his bathing suit. Don't peek, he said. Frog and Toad jumped into the water. They swam all afternoon. Frog swam fast and made big splashes. Toad swam slowly and made smaller splashes. Okay, so Frog was... So, no, Toad... Okay, Toad swam slowly. It's hard to remember which one's which. Okay, so he was probably feeling a little bit insecure still. But then he gets out of the water and he's laughed at. This is crazy. I want to know what happened. I gotta reread Frog and Toad. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, Toad is the greenish orange and then Frog is the green one. That's what I've pieced together. I think the Frog one is easier to remember than the Toad one, which seems weird, but whatevs. I guess because I'm so used to seeing like green frogs in media. Oh, shucks. I think the only other thing I considered doing was, I guess I should clean this up just a little bit. I think I preferred those types of shows not being made, or I wouldn't have liked the Frog and Toad show just because the experience of reading the book was very different. When you read a book, you're at your own pace, and it's not going to be as noisy. Even if it's a quiet show, there's the buzz of electricity and any other weird TV sounds. Whereas the first time I read Frog and Toad, I recall the silence of just reading as a kid in general, like in your own room. For me, it was very early 2000s. So my options were like TV, or I had a radio with CDs in it, I think. But yeah, I had no TV on. I was just reading Frog and Toad, and the silence made it better. I imagine it made it more memorable. It made probably the dreariness come across better, and it's probably why I remember how it made me feel to this day. So I wouldn't be eager to watch the Frog and Toad TV show. I don't want to clean this one up too much just because but I did want to put a suggestion of a boutonniere somewhere. Oh wait, where do boutonnieres go? Let me move it a little bit. Because I don't know if men wear these anymore, but I'm pretty sure that if you're putting together your outfit for prom, you get this little flower thingy on your lapel or whatever it's called, and that's called, I think, a boutonniere. And it matches the lady's corsage, which is her big wrist flowers. So I want a suggestion of a boutonniere at least. It doesn't have to sit right on top. Because I don't want to draw more flowers. But I wanted to suggest it might go along with the corsage by giving it some mild suggestion of baby's breath. Baby's breath are these little types of flowers. They're filler flowers. I took a floral arrangements class in high school because I needed to take another class, and that one was really easy, but also it was just kind of a nice class. It was very chill. I learned some things, like I know about baby's breath, I know about boutonnieres and corsages. And it's fucking, it's been useful, so it was a great time. I got to take it with my friend who liked warrior cats. Oh, my mother-in-law, she actually purchased a Raggedy Ann doll recently just because it's a doll she had from her childhood. I thought that was really awesome. And yeah, I remember watching Toy Story the first time. Yeah, that's a not a core memory, but that's one of the things that sticks for sure is watching Toy Story. I don't know specifically why I liked it though, but I liked it. I knew when I was watching it, I'm like, I'm watching something good. Just a feeling. I don't. I think I'll wait for maybe tomorrow and ask my boyfriend what he thinks about these. Like if I need more cleanup, because there's always more cleaning up I can do, but I'm kind of sick of it. I'm kind of over it. I need to move on. Growing up, Toy Story is my life. Yeah, it's good. That's a good thing. That's you have like a bunch of actual toys you can also buy. Probably a lot of games. I imagine they made a bunch of was Toy Story like immediately successful? Because if that's the case, then I imagine they had like a bunch of stuff you could buy for a kid who liked Toy Story, like the replicas of the toys and stuff. Oh, here we go. Every Christmas was Toy Story. There you go. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Like I'm assuming you got your Woody and Buzz figurines or something. Or like Toy Story wrapping paper. Did you ever hear the song by that same guy? And it's like, "Your people got no reason to live." It's great. Mini playset. Well, of course, when I Google mini playset, I'm gonna find a lot of modern stuff. Is that Polly Pockets? No. Oh, it's. I think it's Pet Patrol playset. What the hell is Pet Patrol? I thought maybe it was Paw Patrol. Yeah, this is not Toy Story. That's okay. Makes sense that I'd find. Ooh, let's see if there's like 1990s. There's gonna be I imagine there's gonna be a billion Toy Story playsets. Like the other day, I tried to Google Littlest Pet Shop playset, and I kept getting like something that to me was like this isn't the playset I was thinking of, because the one I was thinking of is like in my head, it's like the playset. So, but the newer one kept showing up instead of the one that I consider iconic for my old ass age. Yeah, there's a billion different types of playsets. And as I've been saying, if I Google it, it's going to be mostly modern stuff because they're going to want to push the stuff that can actually be sold and has interest. I think I'll just ask my boyfriend for like what he thinks, and then that'll be that. I don't want to work on these two just yet. I'm just thinking about that cheese woman. Let's see. I think I'm still on Stardew Valley. Okay, I'm gonna log out of the game. Is that a name of the playset? Are you singing with the text? Oh my goodness. Oh, I think I vaguely remember that line. Yeah, it's been a while. That's did the green men say that? Yeah, it's the little green men. Those are fun. All right, I gotta go. I'm super sleepy and I got to read a bunch of fan fiction. Maybe, depending on whether or not AO3 is up. It's okay. If it's not, I'm just gonna go to bed. But it's bedtime. So that means good night. Yeah, good night.